Hey, I'm filmmaker Whit Ingram, and you're watching the Chat with Dan show.
Hey, I'm James McDougall.
I'm Lexi Grabowski.
I'm Briar Knowles.
My name is Jessica Malka.
I'm Christy Murdoch.
It's Alaska Lee.
I am Natasha Prasad.
I'm Megan Hemingway.
I'm Leanne Johnson.
My name is Snezhana Baikova.
I'm Kate Schroeder.
My name is Natasha Hurlbert.
My name is Rachel.
My name is Deborah Lee Smith.
I'm Rebecca Amzalag.
And I'm an actress and producer.
I'm an actress based in New York City.
Writer, actress.
I'm an actor.
Actor and filmmaker.
I'm an actress based in Los Angeles.
And I'm an actor, singer-songwriter.
I'm an actress.
I'm a model actress based out of Calgary, Alberta.
I'm an actor and a musician.
I am an actress based in Toronto, and I want to thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to the Chat with Dan show.
Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan. For today, we have on the show the incredible, amazing, badass superstar Whit. How are you today?
I'm great now. Thank you.
I love it.
being
I love
called
it.
a badass.
I mean, what better way to have an epic day than to be chatting with someone as badass as legendary like you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. Now, before we start with the interview, I do want to thank those for watching this. Thank you so much. If this is your first, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment or two. Let me know what you think. And without further more, let's jump in for the interview. Now, for those who don't know who is incredible, amazing, badass superstar, can you please tell us who you are?
I'm Whit Ingram. I'm a Utah-based filmmaker, and I've been working in film for the last 10 years or so. I often write, direct, and edit. But I've been doing a lot of DP lately too. So kind of a little bit of everything, but I'd say I'm a director first.
There you go. There you go. I love that. I love that. But tell me where this journey began. Like, what triggered for you to start this whole process so far?
Yeah, so I started a class in high school called TV and video production, and I really wanted to be in music, some sort of musician or something like that, but it didn't really come naturally to me, and I wasn't very good at it. So our first assignment was music videos, and I really, really gravitated toward that, and it was so much fun. I loved every process of it too, though I hardly even knew what I was doing. But I didn't realize that I had been holding a camera or creating stories my whole life until that point. So that really set me on the trajectory. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a music video director. And then I started doing more and more stuff in school, and I got involved with like broadcasting and all kinds of stuff. By the time I graduated, I was like, okay, I'm going to be a director. And that's kind of where I started. I went to school. I majored in digital media with an emphasis in cinema production. I hate school. I wouldn't have gone to school if I didn't love film so much, but I graduated. And then, I've been working freelance. And then I also work in the corporate world right now ever since. So it's been a lot, but I love it so much.
That's incredible. And what were some of the challenges? Like, once you decided this is what you want to do as a living, like your profession here and there, what were some of the challenges that you had when you were recently making, like those first steps, let's say?
Yeah, I mean, filmmaking can be so overwhelming because there's so many facets to it. I think the biggest thing for me was just trying to gain the confidence to actually run a set and a production, and put myself out there to network. And I'm not very good at being extroverted. I'm definitely more introverted and shy. And so film definitely brings me out of my shell. I think the biggest hurdle for me was definitely gaining that confidence to try things and fail and be really bad at them and just work on everyone's film set. That was definitely the biggest thing. And then, I mean, there's so many things that make it difficult in film to do what you want to do. But I definitely always wanted to be a director. So I think just having that confidence to tell people that I was director and then going out and making my own stuff and showing it to people was a big thing that I had to overcome. And then you just get used to sucking for a long time. And then hopefully you like it eventually, or you learn from your mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, but you are making it happen, so that's incredible. That's like
Mhm.
badass level two. So
Yeah. Trying.
I'll I love it. Now, tell me, what was your first like your first job as a filmmaker, and what were some of the things that you learned from that first experience?
Yeah, I've been trying to think about what my first job as a filmmaker would be. I did a lot of stuff. So like in school, I did a lot of stuff for free. So I feel like that doesn't really count. But before I graduated, I did get hired for my first directing job on a friend's short film. And it was like a dark comedy zombie movie,
Okay.
like a short. It was kind of weird. Like it was just a really short zombie movie.
Mm,
But I got paid for it. So I was like, okay, I'm a professional now. I got paid to be a director, even though it wasn't much money. Um, that was really cool just to have someone like not only have the confidence in me to create something for them, but also just let me have full reign over what I think would be good for certain shots. And like even then, I didn't really fully understand what I was doing either. I wasn't even done with school yet.
yeah.
Um, but after that, I slowly started getting more confidence. I'm like, okay, people are actually reaching out to me now and like wanting to work with me and wanting me to actually like wanting to pay me to actually do this kind of stuff. And that was pretty exciting, even though it was just like a 1 day short film that was kind of weird, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those first experiences tend to be nerve-wracking, but at the same time, you tend to learn a lot while you were like but while you're on that process. So
Yeah, the best experience is just doing it. It's just sucking it up and doing it, even if you feel scared or nervous or whatever.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. I have ended up learning that you are never gonna be ready to actually to do something,
Yeah,
it's better you just jump in and learn while you're there, because otherwise you can read books, watch videos, take classes and everything, but you are not going to be 100% ready until you make that decision. So
right. Yeah, it's the best teacher.
absolutely. Now, on the making for a film, what kind of music do you listen on set before shooting, or what is the vibe that we can expect when you are directing?
It really depends on what we're shooting. So like I do a lot of product stuff. So we'll just listen to music the whole time because there's no sound. And it really depends on who I'm with. If I'm with some cool people, I'll play my real stuff because there's like a lot of rap and
Okay.
and maybe not so appropriate stuff for clients to listen to, like a lot
Yeah.
of Doja Cat and stuff. But I think like for the most part, like it's usually just like classical or like film sounds or soundtracks. Um, and then I guess on set, I call a film set my happy place. Like I'm
Mm,
just so much more extroverted and excited. It's my favorite thing in the world. And a lot of people who I've worked with have told me they have so much fun on my sets because I'm just like a little kid and like clapping my hands and like so excited, like a little cheerleader, like so excited to be on set. And yeah, like I did a really big commercial like last year, and we had like a 15-person crew, and it was a one shot commercial ad. So there's a lot of coordinating. I had a choreographer, and it's a one shot, so you got one chance to get the whole thing right. And
yeah.
like by the end of it, like we were just laughing. It was very stressful, but like at the same time, it was like laughing and super fun. And like I had so many people reach out to me, like that was one of the funnest sets I've ever been on in my life. And so like that's what I like to create on set, is just like a really fun team effort. Because it's a group effort. And it should be fun. There's going to be problems and stuff like that, but as long as like you kind of can work together and collaborate and push through it, then yeah, I just like it to be really fun and collaborative on set.
That's incredible. And how you handle the stressful moments? Like, what is your thing whenever stress sets off, basically?
Um, just try to stay calm. I have anxiety. So it's funny because like I'm used to having a little bit of anxiety at all times. And so I think when I'm on set, it doesn't really phase me as much because I'm already used to that.
Mm,
Um, and I think a big thing is just having a really great first AD or assistant or someone to kind of help keep you on track and keep you sane. That tends to help me a lot. Um, And then, just being over prepared. So if I'm on set and something goes wrong, which inevitably something does go wrong, um, being over prepared and having backup plans for everything really calms me down. I'm like, okay, if we can't get the shot, or if this doesn't happen, or if that doesn't happen, then I already know what to do. I already know kind of like where we're going to go with this. So that definitely helps a lot with stress.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable, right? Even if you have like a
Mhm.
lot of experience, that stress will be around. I mean, it's like part of our daily life, I would say.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Now, based on your experience, yeah, like based on your experience so far, what do you think that are the most important skills for a director?
I think, for the most part, having really clear communication, I would say, is the biggest asset any filmmaker could have. Um, Along with like being over prepared with everything. If you don't have a clear vision on what you want and you're not communicating that clearly, things can be derailed so quickly. And I've been on a few sets, and it doesn't really happen as often anymore, but um, that confidence thing, right? So like I've been on a few sets where people could see that I was nervous and that I wasn't really very clear on what I wanted. And a lot of people, especially people who don't know about film a lot or haven't been on a lot of film sets, will try and help you and they'll try and tell you how to do your job. And, some people will walk all over you if they can see that you don't have things put together and you're not on top of it and you're not communicating what you want very clearly. Um, so definitely having that confidence to understand your vision and communicate that vision clearly, I would say is the biggest asset for any director. Um, and then obviously just being prepared. I've been on so many sets where the director will figure things out there. I'm like, no, that you should have done that a long time ago. This was your job in pre-production. You should not be figuring things out, wasting people's time, like, making decisions on set should only happen if you run into an emergency or if something's going wrong and you can't go according to plan. But everything should definitely be planned in pre-production, and definitely taking the time to plan it before you shoot is crucial for any set.
Wow, I didn't know that. So it's basically like a jungle. You're on set.
Yeah. Yeah, pre-production should be the longest part of any production for sure. And that's where the director does most of their work too.
Okay, so they will do like the pre-production, and then once they're good to go, they will start with the project then.
Yeah, production should be the fun part. That should be like, oh, we already know what we're doing. We're ready to go. We're just gonna get it done. Pre-production is figuring all that out beforehand.
Okay, so it's like a script.
Hmm.
In other words. Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Now, do you have any funny or memorable stories about directing?
I was trying to think about like what would be funny. I'm always laughing on set, but my last short film, so one of my main actors, I put it together pretty quickly, like within a month. And one of my actors had to bail like 2 days before we were about to shoot. And so that was a little stressful. So luckily, my boyfriend, who I kind of like hinted I might want to be in it, he took his place. And the only reason he was able to do that was because he has a bag over his head most of the time. So it's like, you don't have to do much acting. You just have to kind of like do a lot of physicality type of stuff and have like a bag over your head. And I haven't laughed and cried so hard in my entire life because he really went for it. And it was a plastic like garbage bag. And I didn't know that he couldn't breathe very well. And he's not an actor either, so he doesn't know. Like I'm like, so so he takes off the bag and his eyes are bloodshot red, sweating, just dead from like rolling around. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why do you look like that? He's like, oh, I was just trying to make it look real. I'm like, well, don't like make yourself pass out. Like you gotta tell me. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. Like this is acting. You don't have to do it for real. And some kids from the neighborhood, because we were outside, were watching and like giggling too. So it was just like a really funny, like random moment. I love working with people who like love to give it their all. And sometimes working with non-actors, that happens.
Yeah.
But it's still fun either way. That's probably one of my favorite parts that I've
Yeah,
ever.
that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he went for it. I mean, he went 100%. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. It was one of the funnest sets I've ever been on. So,
That's incredible. Wow. Now, what do you think the future of filmmaking will be in the next 10 years?
I've been researching a lot of stuff with AI. I use ChatGPT every single day, kind of like as an assistant to help me with my writing and my thoughts and brainstorming and stuff like that. I think AI is definitely going to have a huge role in the filmmaking world, and not only with like professional Hollywood and stuff, but with a lot of young filmmakers who are just
Yeah.
starting out and trying new things. Um, I think there'll be a lot more animations and a lot more just CGI and cool things that we've never seen before, like become the norm. And just make filmmaking a lot easier for what we could do in the past. Like, I don't need as many people, maybe. I don't need as much help, or I can outsource things that are hard, difficult, like menial tasks to AI and get that done.
Yeah.
So I think I'm really excited for the future. I think there's a lot of cool things that are going to be happening to make our lives easier.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy with the whole with the whole technology and with the AI and everything. For example, a couple of like a month ago. So my little cousin got in trouble in school because he went for with an AI to get
Mhm.
an essay for some history, right? So he got an A+, but of course they realized that it was from an AI. So when he
Yeah.
was telling me that, I just looked at him and I was like, back in my day when internet was just recently starting out, I mean, we had like a website and you needed like to search files here and there, and now you have this. I mean, this is
Mhm.
way more easy, and even though they caught you, are you kidding me? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy how much advancing, and like even with like into a point that the other day I was reading an article that there are some celebrities that have been kind of the target because they will have the AI to play their voice to do certain,
Yeah.
like to play certain say certain stuff here and there, and that's incredible because it definitely sounds like super realistic. So at the same time that I'm excited about it, I'm kind of a little bit, I mean, I wouldn't say worried, of course, but I wonder like what kind of like what is the word that I'm looking for, like what are some of the locks or restrictions they're gonna put to it, because it's crazy.
Yeah, it is a little scary, especially when you have people trying to impersonate other people and get away with that. I'm hoping that they figure that out pretty easily so that doesn't happen,
Yeah,
because yeah, it is really good. I've been playing around with it a lot. I actually got my boss's voice, and I was able to have it read a script and it sounded almost exactly like him. I was like,
that's
wow,
crazy.
it's kind of crazy that I could have access to this right now. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. Now, let's say that one day I called you and I tell you that I want to become a director. Now, here's the thing. Of course, I don't have any experience. So, based on what you know, what do you think would be a kind of a, yeah, kind of a have like a heads up before starting in?
um like I said before, like pre-production is where the director is going to be doing most of their work. I would say go make something with some people who know what they're doing, if you could find a network of people. Um, if you've never been on a film set before, and I used to do this a lot, and you're not in school, there's a lot of filmmaking pages or local pages on Facebook or wherever that you can find, and you can go find jobs pretty easily. I would say go PA and learn how a set is run. Maybe try to find someone to shadow just to kind of see, and then go make your own stuff. Doesn't matter if you don't really know what you're doing, you'll learn along the way. And try to find someone who can maybe like guide you or critique you or just assist you in some way. One of the best teachers I had was a cinematographer, and we'd go make stuff, and they would give me insight of like, okay, this is how you need to do it, or I'm gonna set this up, you go take care of the actors or whatever. But honestly, the best teacher is just to get a group of your friends together and go. go make something, because there's something that you learn every single time you're on set, about yourself, and the more you practice, the better you get.
There you go. I'll take that into consideration. I tell you what, if I ever become a director and I win an award, I'll be mentioning you. I mean, I'll be mentioning you in my thank you speech for sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I
I'll
appreciate
tell
that.
you what, I will cut it in half behind the scenes, and you will have half of it. Okay, half of it.
Oh, okay, you're like, I practiced and I did it.
There you go. There you go. Now, moving on here. So, besides being an incredible badass filmmaking, you're also a writer. But tell me how, like, what usually inspires you for you to start writing?
Music is actually a huge part of my life, and I can write very, very easily if I'm listening to music. I often listen to classical or some kind of instrumental, or film soundtracks. And I was just doing this the other day, and I heard a song on Artlist. Sometimes I'll just listen to Artlist because they're royalty free and I know I can use them. And I just wrote this paragraph of dialogue in 2 minutes. And then I put it into AI and I had it read over like a voiceover with the song. And it was just so amazing to have that instant gratification of like something I just wrote. I can hear it, I can visualize it, I can see if the words sound okay, or like the tone and everything. But ever since I was a kid, like listening to music, I would just think about music videos, like what would go along with this type of song. Or I'd even have scenes pop up in my head and I'd write them down. So I don't know what it is with music. I think if I can feel like an emotion, I get really attached to it. And for some reason, I really want to put a video to it or some kind of image to it. And that's always inspired me the most. Like I think last year on Spotify, I listened to like 31,000 minutes of music, and that's not even including like other people that I'm with. And then I listened to 89 genres. I don't even know 89 genres existed. I was like, what? So I really try and like expand like what I listen to, just so I can maybe tap into my brain on what images would come to my head.
And do you usually, like, when you start writing something, you finish it and you're good to go, or you write it and then just leave it there, and then suddenly you get another idea, you start writing it? Because, for example, I'm this type of person that I get an idea, but then instantly I will get another one, so I have to write it down, the previous one, to put the new one, and then once I realize I have like a whole notebook full with ideas that I haven't complete here. So
Yeah.
so for you on this case, like, you write it, you finished it, or you just like write it, then perhaps you will wait for another song or something till you can finish it? Like, what is your thing when you run the process?
I mean, I have tons and tons of stuff that I've written that I never finished. Like that just happens all the time. And sometimes I'll just write as a creative exercise just for fun. Other times, like I've only written a full feature that I finished, one full feature, and that took a year and a half.
Wow.
But that's mainly because it was a true story and I adapted it from a book and I had to talk to the author, and it was during Vietnam. It was just a lot of research, and a lot of stuff that I didn't quite understand that I had to look into. And then this last short film, it was like the 10th reiteration of that script that I wrote 7 years ago. So it just kept changing, and I just kept tweaking it. And I even tweaked it like 2 weeks before we were about to shoot, because like if I don't get this done, I'm never gonna shoot it. Like nothing's gonna happen. I was like, I just gotta like figure it out and commit to it and get it done. So it definitely varies on what I'm actually writing.
Yeah. Now, what do you think that are the most important skills for a writer?
You don't have to feel inspired to write. Sometimes you just have to sit and stare at your computer and think and organize. I try to do this, but sometimes I don't, because I just want to like write something for fun. But if you can outline your story structure, that's gonna save you a lot of time. What really helped me when I was first starting out was Save the Cat. That's one of my favorite books. It really helps you structure and see why stories are written the way they are. and like even down to what page, what should you be writing on page 55? Because a lot of times in film, like there is a structure to it, and there is, you know, the climax, and there's certain things in the middle that probably should be happening with your main character, but a lot of people don't realize that that should be happening. And one of the reasons why stories kind of fall flat in the middle is because there's no direction and there's no structure to it, and people don't really understand where we're going, and then they lose interest. So having some kind of outline, I would definitely try Save the Cat. It's very easy to understand, and if you can understand that, then you're like already way ahead of the curve than anyone else.
There you go. All right. Then if I ever become a writer as well, you know what I will do. I love
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now let's say that, one day Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, you name it, they call you and they tell you that they have this idea which goes that they're gonna make a film that basically describe your whole career. But guess what? The film needs a title. So how would you call it?
I keep thinking of, I don't know what title it would be. It would probably be something like funny and sad at the same time. Um, I don't know. It's just pretty good, not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good girl, something like witty girl. I don't know. It'd be it'd be something that to where like I try to make it sound like a dark comedy, because those are my favorite genres, and for some reason I really love absurdly funny things in very inappropriate moments. Like one of my favorite shows is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because it's just so insane. But I tend to like, and I noticed this in my last short film too, because I kind of wrote the main character with a lot of like my stuff, like my personality in mind. In the middle of shooting, she's kind of bipolar, isn't she? I'm like, oh, not that I'm bipolar, but I do like have a range of emotions. And I tend to think that sad things are also really funny. So it was just like she was just changing emotions constantly from like sad to funny and sad to angry. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was so crazy. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but probably somewhere along the lines of like pretty good or not bad.
I'll take it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll take it. And which actress would you like to play you?
Oh, shoot. I don't know if they like really look like me, but I really love Jodie Comer. She was one of the main actors in Killing Eve. She was also in that movie with Ryan Reynolds recently. I think it's called Game On or something. But she's an incredible actress. She's a British actress.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, I think so.
The one from the like that
They're
he's
in a
in the
video game.
yeah, good guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love her. She's got a really great range of emotions, and I think she's just super talented.
There you go. All right. Now here's the next one. What about describing your whole career, but this time on a drink? How would you call it, and what would it have?
Ooh. Let's see. I'd probably do like chocolate martini.
Okay.
I like the dessert drinks, but maybe like a chocolate espresso martini. That's a little bit more accurate. That would be have a little bit of caffeine to keep me up. I have a hard time sleeping, so I feel like I'm an insomniac sometimes. So I'm definitely like wide awake all the time. I don't know. Let's see. What should we call it? The dizzy witty.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I
it's
like it.
alcoholic, right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dizzy, and then you got the witty in there. I like to put witty in things. I didn't think about like my handle, Witty Film Girl, very clearly. Like it was just like some random like, oh, witty sounds like my name, Wit, that will be good. And what do I do? Film, and I'm a girl. So but I love putting witty into things. I think it's like for some reason it really suits me. So
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. Now, like, what motivates you? We all have those days that basically we just want to quit. It happens to all of us, regardless of what we're doing. So my question here is how you manage to yeah, to overcome those like toxic voices that start telling you you're not worth it, you're wasting your time, and how you manage to silence those and to be back again on this road that you have been in and you have also built on for so many years now.
It's very difficult. I keep having to remind myself that I picked a very difficult career. Um, and that's just something I need to accept. And it's very hard to stay motivated. I think one of the biggest things is I just have this innate need to create. And I've always been like that since I was a kid. I think part of it is feeling misunderstood growing up. I think part of it is feeling kind of like lonely growing up. And so having that outlet and something to express myself and also just have that collaboration with other like-minded people to create something. Um, and also it is really fun once you get to set. But everything else is so difficult. And a lot of it, you do have to be okay with failing a lot. I fail all the time. Like I have a decent following on Instagram, but a lot of my posts, even recently, they just plummet. Like they're not good. I'm having a hard time like keeping up with things because nowadays you can't just be a filmmaker. You also have to be a content creator, and you also have to
Yeah.
put your face on everything and do 1,000 posts a day, and it's so hard to keep up. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing is I just have to remind myself like I truly do enjoy this work. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. And it's just like a fun way to survive. I'm lucky enough to where I work at a corporate job, but it's very creative and I get to work in video production. And like, okay, as long as I'm working in video production, I'll be fine. Um, because I think I do have that quality, like that innate filmmaker quality to where like we love to create, we're getting rejected constantly, and we're all suffering together. We're all having a hard time as artists, like getting our work out there, feeling like we suck, feeling like we're never good enough, and we're kind of all in the same boat, I feel like. So yeah, working with like-minded people definitely helps. And then I mean, another thing is social media in general. Like there are a lot of bad things about it
Yeah.
that give me anxiety, but there also are a lot of great people that I've met through it, and we kind of all band together and try to support each other and motivate each other to keep going and hype each other up. And I think that's one of the biggest things that has given me confidence is building a following on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Creating a community, it's like, yeah, it's super, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that happened to me recently, a couple of well, this past 8 months, I've been struggling with one of my dogs because he has this medical condition that apparently no one knows. So he's been under constant surgeries, medical treatments anyway. So of course that was frustrating, and it's so amazing that the community that I've been creating since I start Chat with Dan basically came to the rescue, sending messages, like best wishes, advices, like things like that. And I was shocked because I was speaking that with my family the other day, telling them that that they were more, that this community was more paying attention to it than even some of my friends here. So I was like,
Yeah.
like those type of things got my attention. Like it is like that. It is interesting that once you find that community, it's that they are basically supporting you. I mean, it's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's incredible. Now, what can we expect from you in the future?
I mean, right now, I feel like I'm like barely keeping my head above water, but that's probably an exaggeration because I'm constantly wanting to do like a million things all the time. So I'm trying to slow down and just finish one thing at a time. I did sign on with a production company a few months ago, so I'm hoping to do more commercial work. There's a lot of that here in Utah, and then tap into more music videos. And then eventually, go freelance full time. I did that for a few years. I'd like to get back to that. COVID kind of forced me to look for work elsewhere because I was doing a lot of live stuff and it kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do freelance stuff again and then hopefully get into more narrative and like creative stuff. I'm planning on buying a Blackmagic Pocket Cam soon. My birthday is coming up, and I just want to have a camera and just start making stuff constantly. Because I just love to create, so I just want to keep like figuring out ways to express myself and to keep going and hopefully
Yeah.
make my stuff better.
Yeah. Is it the camera, the one that you have that is like on your link tree? Is that the one?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I started a GoFundMe
Yeah.
to help with the camera because I need a new car and I mean, life's just expensive. But I haven't had a camera for a few years and I just really miss being able to just pick it up and like go shoot something. Because I see all these people who just like film like these little tiny scenes and stuff like that. And they don't have to be these big projects for you to have fun to go create something. You just create one scene or like one pretty shot. So that's what I'm gonna try and do here soon.
There you go. I like it. My last question is, yeah, like if we could put, yeah, so this episode, if we could put it on a film, how do we call it?
Ooh, let's see. That is a good question. I don't know why I want to say get film with Fitty with Witty, but that sounds like a workout video. So um badass woman in film talks shop. I don't know. You
Okay,
called me a badass a few times, so I keep thinking
Okay.
of that.
So it's badass woman, and then what?
In film talks shop.
Because that's gonna be the title of the video.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, sounds like a plan. That's gonna be the title then. It's settled. I mean, at the end, what can I say? I mean, it's incredible what you do, but also the fact that you are, yeah, that you just basically just went for it. You know, I mean, it's not easy, of course, and it tends to be a pain in the butt. I mean, I would assume, but the fact that you are doing it and you are making it happen little by little, but you're doing it. I mean, I think that's proof enough for everyone who is either thinking about to jump into something new. You know, perhaps filmmaking or acting, music. I mean, at the end, like you and Andy and also the other people that I've interviewed, I mean, you guys are showing us that dreams can come true, because I do think that we tend to look at whenever we want to start something, we tend to look way on top, you know, and it's discouraged because you're like, okay, so they're on top and I'm here. I mean, this is huge gap. What am I gonna do? But the fact that you're building it step by step, it's incredible. And I'm super sure that our next conversation would be about the thousands upon thousands projects you have been in, and who knows, maybe multiple awards. We'll see.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Now, so yeah, I do want to thank also those who watched this video. Thank you so much. Well, since this episode is about to be over, in the description below, you're gonna find Whit social media. Let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Whit, because she's incredible. And again, thank you so much for making this happen. Have an incredible upcoming weekend. Keep killing it. And most important, keep being this incredible badass woman you always are. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.